today. From Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We have a perfect day for football. The roof is open, in fact, here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be piloted by their veteran quarterback, standing 6'4". It's Ryan Tannehill.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 5 catches, 65 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Play action, it's Tannehill. He finds his tight end Howard, that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the Jaguars' 40-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tannehill. And he finds Howard complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 14 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he established...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The pass. Fumble on the play.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
And he's able to put it through. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
To kick off for Indianapolis.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. After the pick six, they go right back to the air, eluding the pressure right. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time. Now Saquon Barkley. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jerry Jeudy, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Pulls it in at the 13. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Rager on the return. The Colts take over 1st and at at their own 35-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd and 11 now, Tannehill. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tannehill. And that will be incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
At their own.
Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down. Back to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The Jags with a football to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
A gain of 5.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
6-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Now back to throw. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and that will force a turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get 1 more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
5-yard line.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Tibbs kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
16 yards. And a Jaguar first down.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
The ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And that makes it 14-10. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On the ground, it's Eckler. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run here with Eckler. Oh, what a juke into space. The 30. 10. 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 59 yards. Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Now Tannehill. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jordan Reed, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. That's going to be caught by Judy. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry up.
First down, Jacksonville.
Rolling to his right. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That goes for a gain of 31. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
10 yards to go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jerry Jeudy with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now this will make it into the end zone. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Open man is Howard, the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got to fall back on.
On the screen, this is Eckler. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Samuel bringing in the slant. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
At the 10-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Rodrigo.
So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is Jakeem Grant. And able to get this out to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of the defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
First down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 18 more yards there and another 1st down.
First down, Jaguars.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Open man Hamler, that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Down, Jacksonville.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will do it. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half.
Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off.
And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even 1st half, all tied on the scoreboard. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. Flushed out right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Deebo Samuel, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Returnable for Grant. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well. Really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the 1 interception.
Absolutely. Just that 1 pick with the 3 touchdowns so far.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And
that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jerry Jeudy there to make the grab. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 7, Tannehill finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here is Eckler. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete. Austin Eckler, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play.
5-yard line.
And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Now this will make it into the end zone. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Off play action, Tannehill. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Hill sacked. A loss of 9 on the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back now in Indianapolis.
24.
It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. A quick pass here to Godwin. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Again, Tannehill. He'll get this to Eckler. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Colts on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Brian Burns in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Tannehill. And it is incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jerry Jeudy, 40 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. On 1st down, Tannehill. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
2nd and inches at the 35-yard line.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Brian Burns has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The Colts on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 7. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Brian Burns in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 26 big yards on that one. It's another 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Tannehill on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. He'll get this one to Patrick. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here comes Grant on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And judging by our scoreline, they have 6-0 in their future as they look to grind this one down a little. They've got it 1st and 10. He'll go up top here for Hamler, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Open man is Samuel, complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eluding the pressure right. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Sliding out of the pocket. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw again. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again, escaping the pressure right. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
24. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. Indy set to go on offense once more. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Open man is Howard, the tight end. That catch good for only a couple.
O.J. Howard. Out of bounds at the 10.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
And 8.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st and 10.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jags, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.